Smiling. This is only effective when it is used selectively. Why is gold valuable? It's valuable because it's scarce. My smile has a value because I really do. If you walk through life smiling all the time like one, you're gonna look like a moron, and two, no one cares if you're smiling. When you're a full-grown man, you can't be walking through life smiling all the time at every single thing. You need to only smile when something of merit happens. Now, I'm not saying look like a miserable person, but you need to understand that all these points that I'm talking about need to be taken with some sense of nuance. You need to develop your own style with this. But you can't be looking like a moron smiling at every single thing. You've probably learned how to smile instinctively, smiling at things that don't make you laugh or don't make you happy, just to be polite to other people. Now, this is something that I did to myself. I intentionally made the effort to smile, maybe when I made eye contact with a stranger on the street, and now I've gotten to the point where I'm trying to train myself out of that so I can only smile when something of merit happens. Well, I think I'm on the better end of that. But yeah, it was a problem because I would catch myself smiling for nothing. Smiling is almost a submissive act. If you look at apes, our closest relatives, when you have a bunch of apes and you have the alpha come into the group, all the betas start smiling like this, because it's almost like them saying, oh, don't hurt me, you're in charge, don't hurt me. So it's like when you're walking through life smiling like anyhow, it's like you're telling everyone, don't hurt me, I'm a target, don't hurt me. You need to be selective with this. Your smile is a selective tool and it must be used efficiently. Anyone who's happy and is smiling all the time isn't real. You know it and I know it. I use my smile selectively, especially on dates. So let's say I'm talking to this chick and the conversation so far is pretty general. I'm going to remain neutral, I'm just going to speak. Right? I'm not going to look frustrated or miserable, I'm just going to speak normally. But if she starts to flirt with me or she starts to be a bit more open and receptive, then I'm going to smile. So for example, she might say something like, oh, I didn't expect you to be like this, I thought you'd be more arrogant. Then I'm going to smile with a response. I'm going to say, why'd you think that? Your smile is a tool just like your attention is a tool. You give too much of it and then it becomes worthless. You can't be running through life throwing all your tools away. You give every chick attention when you're not even dating them. You text them all the time, smiling all the time for no reason, just giving away your tools. You have to be very selective with the use of these tactics, because the more you use them, the less effective they are. It's like, how do I show my girlfriend I'm happy if I just smile at every random thing I see on the street? Now again, you don't have to come off as a horrible person. This is very nuanced. You need to apply wisdom to this, to the application of these points. So for example, if I want to buy something at a store, I'm just gonna nod. That's more respectful than just smiling like for no reason. If I'm going to the club, when I used to go to the club for work, I would just smile at the bouncer instead of smiling. It's like you just bought a pack of Skittles, what the hell are you smiling? A nod is far more effective than a smile. If you want to be polite to someone, respectful, just nod at them. If I have to tell you to give someone a firm handshake, then I don't know what you're doing here, you should know that already. Eye contact. Now, you give eye contact first and foremost to be respectful to other people. So, if you want to be disrespectful, then you should know what to do. Now at this point you probably understood that a main theme of these videos is the actual change of habits rather than the habits themselves. So for example, if I'm on a date with a girl, I might be talking about something, blah blah blah, it doesn't matter what I'm saying, but when I want to drive a point home to her, I'm going to give her eye contact. So for example, I'm really glad I met you today because you are beautiful. Now you see what I did there? If I said the exact same thing while giving eye contact throughout, it would be less effective than if I looked away and gave eye contact when I said the word beautiful. That's the same thing with any other person. Let's say a dude is trying you, he wants to fight you, and you're like, dude, get the hell away from me, get the hell away from me. I'm gonna mess you up, get the hell away from me. Do you see the difference? So you need to apply this in your life to wherever it's suitable. You look away when you're speaking, and then when you say something that you really mean, you really want to drive home, then you give them dead eye contact. It's far more effective and it makes you much more convincing. Make people like you. You make people like you by asking questions. The truth is, everyone cares about themselves a lot. Nothing wrong with this, but if you have a conversation with someone and you want to make them like you, it's better for you to ask them questions about themselves instead of bragging about yourself. You know, for example, I have a conversation with a dude and I'm like, oh well, you know, I've traveled around the world, I've done this and that, I speak multiple languages, I'm rich. No one cares. They want to talk more about themselves. So let's go back to the date scenario. I'm on a date with a chick, and some of you actually run out of conversations to have maybe when you're on dates or you get anxious. Just simply ask her questions. So for example, let's say I'm on a date with a chick. I'm simply going to ask her questions about herself. So I might say, oh, interesting, so what do you do for work? And she's going to say, oh, I'm a hairdresser. And I'm going to say, okay, interesting, so don't you ever get tired of speaking to clients about the same thing every single day? Oh no, I don't get tired of it because we have a lot of conversations. Tell me about their life and their marriage and whatever's going on with their lives, and you know, I get a lot of different clients, blah 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 blah. And then you say, okay, wow, interesting, so how did you get into hairdressing in the first place? Oh, you know, when I was a little kid, my mom used to make my hair, and I had the dream, and I had the Barbie dolls, and I used to make the hair, and I really loved doing this, and I thought maybe I could make extra cash on the side. And you see how the conversation just keeps going on and on and on. If you just ask more questions about what she really tells you, you just keep branching on and on. And at the end of the day, she's gonna say, well, this was a great conversation, I really enjoyed this. She was just literally just talking about herself the whole time, and she probably doesn't know anything about you. Don't make it complicated. It's as simple as asking people questions about themselves. Resist the urge to talk about yourself too much. I mean, if you're asked a question, obviously give answers, but you don't want to go too deep into it. You always want to redirect the questions back to them so they can speak a bit more and more. And that's how you become effective with that. Guys, click on this video to learn how to stop being shy around people. But before you leave, make sure you leave a like down below, make sure you comment and subscribe and share with people, and I'll see you in this video.